A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. If you need a website or a domain, go to squarespace.com/James for 10% off your first purchase.
Hello everybody, hope you're well. Happy New Year, good tidings and health and anything else that people say at the start of a new year. I have some aims today. Number one, look absolutely fabulous. So, tick. Number two, complete a bike ride that I was on a number of weeks back, but it just rained too much, so it wasn't much fun. So I want to actually get to the end of that today. And yes, I am on a bike ride. I don't choose to look like this. Number three, burn off some of the mince pies I've consumed over the past couple of weeks. Number four, talk a little bit about how I make photography fun, or keep photography fun for myself. And number five, I'm sure there was a number five. Oh yeah, shoot exclusively on this 50. This is the Sony 50mm f1.4 and I bought it pretty much exclusively to take photos of my son over the coming years. But since I love 50mm, I'm sure I'll use it for my photography as well. So yeah, that's the aim today. Oh, and number six, try and get some vitamin D, as much as that is possible in early January when you're at 50 odd degrees north and when the sun is behind a massive hill. So yeah, we'll see how we go today. And I say today, we've only got about 3 hours until sunset, so. All right.
This, as I'm sure you can see, is a camera. Breaking news. But a few weeks ago, you might have recognised this as my camera, because I had Leica written, what's this bit of the camera called? Where the EDF is. Anyway, the reason I had Leica written on my Sony was that, what was it, 7 or 8 months ago when I sold my M11, I was a little bit sad about not falling in love with the M11. But I didn't fall in love with it and it didn't make any sense to keep it. But I wanted to love it, and so I thought, well, I'll make my Sony into a Leica. See how that works. Bit of a stupid idea, and now I've decided to take the Leica off because there's no part of me really that wants a Leica again. And the fact that lots of people who hadn't seen those videos were asking me, why have you got Leica written on your Sony? That was getting a bit annoying, so I got rid of it, and now I've just got a blank label over the Sony instead. But I think that looks a bit boring. So I'm currently looking for a new sort of 4 or 5 letter word to replace Leica. So basically what I'm suggesting is that if you have any ideas, write them in the comments, and the one with the most votes, I will stick on my camera for the rest of the year. I know what you're thinking, keep it clean. And that is the one stipulation I have actually. I can't be travelling around the world with this with obscenities written on my camera, so seriously, keep it clean. Also, some of you are probably thinking, what's the problem with with just having Sony on top of your camera. There isn't really, but I just have a bit of a thing about spending thousands of pounds on a piece of equipment and then doing the company's advertising for them by walking around with a product that is just plastered with logos. I really don't like that. So I'd prefer to have, I don't know, press or smile written above the mount. Smile would be better if I was a portrait photographer, I suppose. Anyway, that's that important item dealt with. I keep forgetting what I'm supposed to talk about. Oh yes, fun. So that is a pretty typical day or haul of photos for me. Basically, I come home and I've got 2 or 3 shots that I don't mind, but nothing that's going to make the portfolio, nothing that I'm really super excited about. And historically, and I say historically, but I mean up to 2 or 3 months ago maybe, that used to drive me mad. I used to get really, really anxious before going out with my camera, wondering if there's anything I can do to increase my chances of getting something I'm happy with. And I'd only be happy after being out with my camera all day if I had something that I was really happy with. And it started to really impede my enjoyment of taking photos. Now on this channel, I have preached for years that we need to divorce the process from the result in photography, and we need to really focus on enjoying the process. But that is the advice that I've given that I've found the hardest to listen to myself over all this time I've had this channel. And it's only recently that I think I've finally managed to break the back of it. And the thing is, and again, very recently I've realised this, that most of what makes a photo great is outside of my control. You know, whether or not I have the skill, the timing, the luck, the conditions to get something I really like on any given day in any given moment, I can't control in that moment really. And obviously the more time I'm out with my camera, same for all of us, the more chance I have to get something I like. But there are no guarantees, and fretting about getting something I like is destroying my joy. And so luckily, as I say, in the past 2 or 3 months, I've been able to go out on days like that, come home with nothing really to write home about and be fine with it. In the same way that someone that goes fishing seems to be able to cope with not catching massive fish. It's about the process and sitting there and watching the waves, and you know what fishing is. So yeah, in short, try and enjoy the process, because if you don't, in my experience, it will destroy your joy of pressing the shutter. It's a happy note, isn't it? But anyway, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing your suggestions of what I should put here. Also, before I go, a huge thank you to the sponsor of this week's video, Squarespace. Now, at the back end of last year, I started writing blog posts and sending out newsletters. That is something I'm absolutely determined to continue this year. So if you'd like to check out my blog posts so far, then just head to my website, jamespopsys.com. And if you'd like to sign up to my newsletter, you can do that on my website too. And both of those things are made possible by Squarespace. And so if you're a photographer who wants to show off their portfolio online, and I highly recommend you do, then check out Squarespace. And they have loads of templates that will help you organize your photos exactly as you wish. And of course, you may also want a blog, you may want to send out newsletters, you might want an online store to sell your prints. And if you want to do any or all of that, I couldn't recommend Squarespace enough. Because like I've said for a while now, I've been using Squarespace for 7 or 8 years, and it's integral to my business, and throughout all of that time, I've not had to know a single line of code. And the best bit, I think, is that you can check out Squarespace for free by going to squarespace.com to start a free trial. And after that, if you'd like to make a purchase, just go to squarespace.com/James and you'll get 10% off that first purchase. And so as usual, a huge thank you to Squarespace for their continued support of this channel. It's much appreciated. And to you for watching and suggesting some nice things that I can have on my camera. Maybe if there's a few good suggestions, I'll rotate them. Got to use my label maker for something.